Today I am sharing two of our favorite cozy fall breakfasts, the best homemade sourdough cinnamon rolls and a hearty casserole. There is just something about a fall morning that is so good for the soul. The air is crisp, the house is quiet, and the kitchen is warm, filled with seasonal flavors. I love starting the day this time of year with something homemade and cozy and hearty. I'm going to start with the star of the show here, these cinnamon rolls. I'm going to walk you through this recipe step by step, but I will also link the recipe in the description box below this video. Now, if you're familiar with sourdough, you know that it is like playing a long game. So I am getting the dough for this started the night before. I am starting by mixing together 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 stick of melted butter. I mix that together with a cup of milk and half a cup of sourdough discard. This is one of my most prized recipes, one that I usually don't share. And honestly, it feels like I'm giving away a piece of my baking secrets, but these rolls are just too good to keep to myself. Mixing the dough is probably the most important step of this whole process. You want to work the dough in your mixer until it forms a soft, elastic ball and the sides of your bowl are completely clean. You want your dough to pass what's called the window pane test. So if you grab a corner of it and pull it up and apart, it should be thin enough that you can see the reflection of the light behind it. So it is the next morning now, and you can see that the dough has doubled in size. And I'm gonna get the filling started. So I melt 1 stick of butter, and I mix that together with a half a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of granulated sugar, and 2 heaping tablespoons of cinnamon. I like to mix it together this way because it makes kind of a thick paste that makes it really easy to spread on the rolls, and everything just stays together a lot better when you go to roll them up. I'm not sure if you can tell from this video, but this dough is just so soft and pillowy. So I want to get that onto a floured work surface and do your best to roll the dough out into roughly a 12 by 18 rectangle. And then you're going to want to evenly spread your filling throughout the dough, and you want to keep about a 1/4 inch gap from the top of the dough. So this method of cutting the rolls is one of my hidden secrets. I love to take a pizza cutter and slice it into 12 equal parts and then roll them up individually. If you have a bench scraper, this helps significantly, so I'd recommend using it like this. But it just makes the most perfect bakery-worthy rolls. Once they are all shaped and placed in the pan, you want to cover them with a damp tea towel and set them aside until they get a second chance to rise and double in size. For me, this takes about 2 hours. Then you can pop them in the oven at 350 degrees and bake them for around 33 to 35 minutes. While those are baking, I like to get the maple cream cheese glaze going, and this is another one of those secrets that just puts this recipe over the top. On the stove, you're going to want to simmer together 6 ounces of softened cream cheese, a half a cup of pure maple syrup, a half a cup of heavy cream, and a teaspoon of vanilla. I like to use my immersion blender to get it super smooth and frothy. When you pull these cinnamon rolls out of the oven while they are still hot, you immediately want to take that glaze and pour them all over the top. I really wish that you guys could see this in real life because these are just so stinking soft and pillowy. And once you try this sourdough version, it is really hard to go back to anything else you've ever made or tried. Another recipe that I like to make this time of the year is a sourdough McGriddle casserole. It is hearty and filling and packed with protein, and something that I guarantee that your kids will like. So I'm going to start off by making the pancake batter that goes over the top. So for this sourdough version, I mixed together 3 cups of sourdough discard, a half a cup of whole milk, a third a cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. The sourdough discard in this makes it super bubbly, so you'll quickly see as I mix this together that it turns into a really fluffy, bubbly mixture. Now, if you do not have a sourdough starter, you could easily swap this with one of your favorite buttermilk pancake recipes. Joanna Gaines has a really good one in her Magnolia Table cookbook. Once you get the batter prepped and ready, you can start by making the sausage and egg mixture that goes on the bottom. So here I just have some whole hog breakfast sausage. You can use ground sausage, but I had these links on hand, and I'm not gonna lie, they are still partially frozen, but that is okay, it'll still work. So you just want to chop those up or break up the sausage and cook them in a cast iron skillet or cooking pan until they are cooked through. And while the sausage is cooking, you are going to want to whisk together in a bowl 6 scrambled eggs. And once that's done, you're going to want to pour that directly over the top of the sausage in the skillet and mix it all together. You can either bake this in a parchment-lined sheet pan or this 9x13 casserole dish that I have. And I just greased this with a little bit of coconut oil and then spooned the egg and sausage mixture evenly throughout the bottom of the pan. Then you're going to want to pour your pancake batter right over the top and spread it evenly so that the entire base is covered. And then you are going to pop it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. When it's done, I'll tell you, it doesn't look like much, but this tastes so good. Almost exactly like a McDonald's McGriddle. It has a little bit of savory from the sausage and eggs, but sweet from the pancake. And to put it completely over the edge, you drizzle it with a little bit of pure maple syrup. This is a really great one if you want to do like a breakfast for dinner situation too. As always, thank you so much for spending this fall morning in the kitchen with me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next recipe, and let me know what you're excited to try in the comment section below.